I want your things in my room. I miss you all of the time. You make it look so easy, leaving everything behind. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. How are you? How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, Luigi. Why are you looking at me like that? Oh. 我们是让所有去欣赏. Thanks for becoming a member for 8 months, Onyx. 顾着来要走够楼主哟，让我们让助力气息哼哼即兴有，我们去让助力去欣赏. Important image from Siren. All right, let's see it. That's hot. That's unfortunately very hot. God damn it. God damn it. Fuck. Fuck. Shouldn't be as hot as it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be. That's not the way that things are supposed to go. That's not the way things are supposed to be. It's simply not the way. All right, listen, gang. We got a bit to talk about. Girly pop merch, brother. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. I've got my my team working on it. You know, I ain't the one who does it. I'm just the talent. I am just the talent, and boy, am I talented. Boy, oh boy, am I talented. Too talented, some even say. Far too talented. Oh no! Oh no! He's hot! And humble. He's also hot and humble. All right, so why don't we start off with a little... Someone said AR-15 or AK-47? AK-47, bro. Are you out of your fucking mind? Stop spamming the same question over and over again. It's pissing me off. It's pissing me off. You fuck. You fuck. God damn it. Throw you in the brig now. Now you're getting thrown in the brig. What doesn't, Chris? Marijuana, eating pussy. Them shits don't piss me off. But motherfuckers spamming the same thing pisses me off. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. All right. All right. Listen. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. A little morning song. Una mattina mi sono alzato, un bella ciao, 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 ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato, ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via, un bella ciao, 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 ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Ain't that something? Oh, Luigi likes that song. She likes that song. Are you dancing with your little tail? Are you dancing? Weenie. Wow. That's a happy tale, Mrs. Weenge. You're coming all the way over here? Oh, what happened? Oh, what happened? Ruff. Ruff, ruff. What happened? Did you have a real good morning? Yeah, she had a real good morning. All right, listen, I have a couple of things to talk about. We're going to be talking about Hakeem Jeffries refusing to stop taking AIPAC money. That's going to be good. But more importantly, we've got to watch Marco Rubio's speech at the Munich Security Conference because he went full crusader. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Hey, with $2. Hey. Says I'm from Wisconsin. I'm seeing increased ICE movement here. That makes sense. We got to talk about Marco Rubio's speech. He went full crusader mode, an completely unhinged speech where he quite literally just talks about reinvigorating the colonialist empires of the world and how the Western world should start colonizing the rest of the planet, and that he needs Europe's help in order for America to colonize the entirety of the global South. I'm not kidding. We are moving into law of the jungle type shit. It's fucking insane. And his speech is about 21 minutes long. I'm going to put it into 1.5 speed, and you and I, we're going to watch the whole thing. See, this is why I have this phrase that I call it waltzing through the flames, okay? I don't want to watch this. You don't want to watch this, but we have to watch this. So I'm going to take your hand. I'm going to put my fucking other hand on the small of your back. You're going to like that. We're going to lock eyes. And we're gonna waltz through the fucking fire together, okay? Because we gotta, okay? And then once we've consumed it, then we'll make a video and we're gonna talk about it, okay? Because I've seen some of this, I've seen the reaction from it. This is a baffling fucking speech, okay? Thank you for becoming a loyalist, Shay. But without further ado, we're gonna watch this, okay? And then we'll get segments of it to clip out and put into a video. So what I do need is for my mods or anybody who would like to assist me when we find a moment in this 21-minute long speech. I want to know what the timestamp is. If he says some crazy shit from minute 2 to minute 3:30, I want to know that, because then we're going to align the juice, the meat and potatoes, and we're going to make a video out of it so that the pre-recorded viewers just get the meat and potatoes. No need for the veg. You know what I'm saying? No need for the veg. We'll leave the veg behind. We just started. Oh! All right, now I know 50,000 of you would love to whiff that shit. Y'all ready? Let's listen to this together. It's gonna be brutal. But we're gonna listen to it. And fortunately, since it is in 1.5 speed, it'll make Marco Rubio sound like a little Keebler fucking elf. All right, y'all ready? So here's what you gotta understand. This is at the Munich Security Conference. This is world leaders from all over the planet, particularly, the EU, European leaders. And it seems like we are putting Europe in between a rock and a hard place, where essentially we're telling them, you have become incredibly reliant on American defense, which is true, right? And we're telling them you have two options now, which is, if you want that defense, you need to help us in our offense of the global South. Option 2, turn to another nation. Whether that nation be Iran or China or Russia. I mean, they'll never fucking choose Russia. Get your help somewhere else. So this is essentially the same deal that I've told you a million times, which is, can I buy your car? And you say no. And then I pull out a Glock and I say, can I buy your car? And now you're like, well, fuck. I mean, I guess. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's start watching.
We gather here today as members of a historic alliance, an alliance.
Is this in 2.2 or is it in 1.5? All right.
That saved and changed the world. You know, when this conference began in 1963, it was in a nation, actually it was on a continent, that was divided against itself. The line between communism and freedom ran through the heart of Germany. The first barbed fences of the Berlin Wall had gone up just 2 years prior. And just months before that first conference, before our predecessors first met here in Munich, the Cuban Missile Crisis had brought the world to the brink of nuclear destruction. Even as World War II still burned fresh in the memory of Americans and Europeans alike, we found ourselves staring down the barrel of a new global catastrophe, one with the potential for a new kind of destruction more apocalyptic and final than anything before in the history of mankind. The time of that first gathering, Soviet communism was on the march. Thousands of years of Western civilization hung in the balance. At that time, victory.
Why are we pretending like the Soviet Union was actually a threat to Western culture? We demolished the Soviet Union, bro. We did that slowly but surely. We destroyed them financially because we couldn't do it militarily. That would have brought about the end of the entire fucking planet. But why are we pretending like the Soviet Union came close to destroying the Western world? That's not what happened.
It was far from certain. But we were driven by a common purpose. We were unified not just by what we were fighting against. We were unified by what we were fighting for. And together, Europe and America prevailed, and a continent was rebuilt. Our people prospered. In time, the East and West blocks were reunited. A civilization was once again made whole. That infamous wall that had cleaved this nation into two came down, and with it, an evil empire. And the East and West became one again. But the euphoria of this triumph led us to a
I love when we try and pretend like America is not actually the evil empire.
dangerous delusion that we had entered, quote, the end of history, that every nation would now be a liberal democracy, that the ties formed by trade and by commerce alone would now replace nationhood, that the rules-based global order, an overused term, would now replace the national interest, and that we would now live in a world without borders where everyone became a citizen of the world.
That's not at all what happened under neoliberalism. And I wish it fucking was. I wish it was. I dream of an era of human singularity, right? Where we finally, like, whether, here's the thing, this is why I always say we should have an alien mothership just like come down and then we fire all our nukes at it and it goes, you know, fucking quickly we would, hey! Do you know how fucking quickly we would stop with all the racism and the religious wars if some non-human threat showed up? Then maybe we would achieve like a we are all nations of planet Earth, like it's the fucking UNSC and Halo fighting against the Covenant. That has never been the case. There's a random voice in the background. No, there isn't. There's just Luigi.
This was a foolish idea that ignored both human nature and it ignored the lessons of over 5,000 years of recorded human history.
5,000? Hey, dumb fuck. We're like a 15,000-year-old species. God damn, you're stupid.
And it has cost us dearly. In this delusion, we embraced a dogmatic vision of free and unfettered trade, even as some nations protected their economies and
There has never been free and unfettered trade. If there fucking was, I would be able to buy a Chinese electric vehicle or a Chinese phone. Let's be so fucking for real. For all you free market capitalists, we have never been a free market. We literally trample on competition in order for like American tech bros to profit off of their dog shit products, dude. The iPhone is a piece of shit when you compare that to Chinese phones. The Tesla is a piece of shit when you compare that to Chinese electric vehicles. We do not have a free and fair fucking market, because if we did, China would be bodying us.
Subsidize their companies to systematically undercut ours, shuttering our plants, resulting in large parts of our societies being deindustrialized, shipping millions of working and middle-class jobs overseas.
Dude, fucking Ronald Reagan did that. Ronald Reagan is the reason why we have offshoring.
And handing control of our critical supply chains to both adversaries and rivals. We increasingly outsourced our sovereignty.
Hey guys, listen, keep a little tab open and keep timestamps of what you think is the meat and potatoes. I'll also tell you when I think something's the meat and potatoes, but we gotta have the meat and potatoes.
To international institutions, while many nations invested in massive welfare states at the cost of maintaining the ability to defend themselves. This, even as other countries have invested in the most rapid military buildup in all of human history and have not hesitated to use hard power to pursue their own interests. To appease a climate cult, we have imposed energy policies on ourselves that are impoverishing.
I need that one. To achieve a climate cult. What time is this?
Military buildup in all of human history and have not hesitated to use hard power to pursue their own interests. To appease a climate...
All right, I need 3 minutes and 35 seconds. I need someone to clock 3 minutes and 35 seconds, and then I'll tell you when to end the clock.
Cult. We have imposed energy policies on ourselves that are impoverishing our people, even as our competitors exploit oil and coal and natural gas and anything else, not just to power their economies, but to use as leverage against our own. And in a pursuit of a world without borders, we opened our doors to an unprecedented wave of mass migration that threatens the cohesion of our societies, the continuity of our culture, and the future of our people. We made these mistakes together. And now, together, we owe it to our people to face those facts and to move forward, to rebuild. Under President Trump...
All right. I need it to end at 4:20. 3:35 to 4:20. Someone save that. Someone save that. Because, dude, like, are we pretending like we don't have, like, a limited time, bro? Do you understand that there's, like, 15 years of fresh water left on this planet if we keep on using it to power, like, AI supercomputers and data centers? I'm not even kidding, dude. We're gonna enter water wars. That's going to happen. There's a reason why there are, like, politicians trying to get water tradable on the stock market, bro. They understand that there is a finite amount of it. This motherfucker is pretending like we have infinite fuel, infinite water, infinite fossil fuels. Oh my God, it's so fucking stupid.
The United States of America will once again take on the task of renewal and restoration, driven by a vision of a future as proud, as sovereign, and as vital as our civilization's past.
Sovereign for who, bro? You don't believe in sovereignty for Greenland or Venezuela.
And while we are prepared, if necessary, to do this alone, it is our preference, and it is our hope to do this together with you, our friends here in Europe. For the United States and Europe, we belong together. America was founded 250 years ago, but the roots began here on this continent long before. The men who settled and built the nation of my birth arrived on our shores carrying the memories and the traditions and the Christian faith of their ancestors as a sacred inheritance.
All right, I need this because we got to talk about the actual beliefs of the men who colonized the United States. So let's get another timestamp here for.
And it is our hope to do this together with you, our friends here in Europe. For the United States,
I'm gonna need 4:49
and Europe,
4 minutes and 49 seconds.
We belong together. America was founded 250 years ago, but the roots began here on this continent long before. The men who settled and built the nation of my birth arrived on our shores carrying the memories and the traditions and the Christian faith of their ancestors as a sacred inheritance, an unbreakable link between the old world and the new. We are part of one civilization, Western civilization. We are bound to one another by the deepest bonds that nations could share, forged by centuries of shared history, Christian faith, culture, heritage, language, ancestry, and the sacrifices our forefathers made together for the common civilization to which we have fallen heir. And so this is why we Americans may sometimes come off as a little direct and urgent in our counsel. This is why President Trump demands seriousness and reciprocity from our friends here in Europe. The reason why, my friends, is because we care deeply. We care deeply about your future and ours.
To 605. All the way to 605. All the way to 605. All right? Got it? Got it?
And if at times we disagree, our disagreements come from our profound sense of concern about a Europe with which we are connected. Not just economically, not just militarily. We are connected spiritually, and we are connected culturally. We want Europe to be strong. We believe that Europe must survive. Because the two great wars of the last century serve for us as history's constant reminder that ultimately our destiny is and will always be intertwined with yours. Because we know that the fate of Europe will never be irrelevant to our own. National security, which this conference is largely about, is not merely a series of technical questions. How much we spend on defense or where, how we deploy it, these are important questions, they are. But they are not the fundamental one. The fundamental question we must answer at the outset.
You know what is so funny? Somebody in chat just said he's a white supremacist. One of the funniest things about Marco Rubio is he does remind me of like a grown-up version of Nick Fuentes, right? Because Mark is Cuban. You are advocating for the destruction of the global south, including your homeland of Cuba, the land of your forefathers, bro. And the same way that Nick Fuentes is Mexican, right, and advocates for the total destruction of the global south and Mexico and advocates for white supremacy, like, if Marco Rubio and Nick Fuentes had their way in terms of, like, actual domination of the U.S. government, they would be thrown into gas chambers. Literally. Literally, bro. Your name is Marco Rubio. Your name is Nick Fuentes. You're both closeted homosexuals. You're not white. Why do you think that created, like, it's like, what do you think you're gonna be? Like the useful idiot? They're like, no, this one's good. Are you out of your fucking mind, bro? It's like a Jew signing up for the SS. It's like, yeah, okay, go ahead. Bring about the world that the SS wants. See what happens to you. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Is what exactly are we defending? Because armies do not fight for abstractions. Armies fight for a people. Armies fight for a nation. Armies fight for a way of life. And that is what we are defending.
Hey,
a great civilization that has every reason to be proud of its history, confident of its future, and aims to always be the master of its own economic and political destiny. It was here, in Europe, where the ideas that planted the seeds of liberty that changed the world were born. It was here, in Europe, where the world, which gave the world the rule of law, the universities, and the scientific revolution.
Europe gave the world the rule of law? Has this motherfucker ever heard of the Ottoman Empire? Has this motherfucker ever heard of Mali? Has this motherfucker ever heard of China? What do you fucking mean the rule of law was born in Europe? I need that one. I need that clip. What is that? What time is it?
Always be the master of its own economic and political destiny. It was here.
I need 7:52.
In Europe, where the ideas that planted the seeds of liberty that changed the world were born. It was here, in Europe, where the world, which gave the world the rule of law, the universities, and the scientific revolution.
The universities, bro, I'm pretty sure the first universities were in the fucking Middle East. The first universities were in like the not the Ottoman Empire, but the Persian Empire, I believe.
It was this continent that produced the genius of Mozart and Beethoven, of Dante and Shakespeare, of Michelangelo and Da Vinci, of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And this is the place where the vaulted ceilings of the...
How about math? Who invented math, Marco? Who invented numbers, Marco? When you fucking count, do you go v, Sa! Like, no, bitch, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Arabic, you dumb fuck! Oh my God.
Chapel and the towering spires of the great cathedral in Cologne. They testify not just to the greatness of our past, or to a faith in God that inspired these marvels. They foreshadow the wonders that await us in our future. But only if we are unapologetic in our heritage and proud of this common inheritance can we together begin the work of envisioning and shaping our economic and our political future.
All right, give it to that 854, all the way to 854 there.
Deindustrialization was not inevitable. It was a conscious policy choice, a decades-long economic undertaking that stripped our nations of their wealth, of their productive capacity, and of
starting with Ronald fucking Reagan.
Their independence. And the loss of our supply chain sovereignty was not a function of a prosperous and healthy system of global trade. It was foolish. It was a foolish but voluntary transformation of our economy that left us dependent on others for our needs and dangerously vulnerable to crisis. Mass migration isn't some fringe concern of little consequence.
I need that. 925, new clip, 925.
It was and continues to be a crisis which is transforming and destabilizing societies all across the West. Together, we can reindustrialize our economies and rebuild our capacity to defend our people. But the work of this new alliance should not be focused just on military cooperation and reclaiming the industries of the past. It should also be focused on together advancing our mutual interests in new frontiers, unshackling our ingenuity, our creativity, and the dynamic spirit to build a new Western century. Commercial space travel and cutting-edge artificial intelligence, industrial automation and flex manufacturing, creating a Western supply chain for critical minerals not vulnerable to extortion from other powers, and a unified effort to compete for market share in the economies of the global South. Together, we can not only take back control of our own industries and supply chains, we can prosper in the areas that will define the 21st century.
All right, to 1036, all the way to 1036. Keep that for me.
But we must also gain control of our national borders. Controlling who and how many people enter our countries, this is not an expression of xenophobia, it is not hate. It is a fundamental act of national sovereignty. And the failure to do so is not just an abdication of one of our most basic duties owed to our people. It is an urgent threat to the fabric of our societies and the survival of our civilization itself. And finally, we can no longer place the so-called global order above the vital interests of our people and our nations.
That's an insane quote. I need that. 1110. You hear what he just said? We can no longer value the global order over the needs of our nations and people. Brother, that is always the goal. The state of the planet, the state of humanity as a whole matters so much more than the needs of your nation. And you can use bullshit, stupid fucking examples. Like, I'll give you one. Like, hypothetically, would it benefit the United States of America to go to war with the entirety of the global South and conquer every last square inch and own that land? Economically, sure, maybe that would help the United States' economy, but it would also put hundreds of millions of people into chains, enslaved by the parasite of the United States of America. It would give us short-term benefit and cause long-term tragedy. Okay, the state of humanity genuinely matters more than the wills of one nation. It does. It always fucking matters more. And we know this because we understood this with Nazi Germany. When the fucking Nazis said, fuck the rest of the world, we are going to expand the German Empire and we are going to dominate the entire fucking planet and enslave half of Europe. We said, no, I don't give a fuck if that would make Germany great again. You're not enslaving us. And we went to war. You know this. Republicans know this. It's bullshit.
We do not need to abandon the system of international cooperation we authored. And we don't need to dismantle the global institutions of the old order that together we built. But these must be reformed. These must be rebuilt. For example, the United Nations still has tremendous potential to be a tool for good in the world. But we cannot ignore that today, on the most pressing matters before us, it has no answers and has played virtually no role. It could not solve the war in Gaza. Instead, it was American leadership that freed captives from barbarians and brought...
Oh my God, you fucking scumbag. All right, I'm gonna need that clip. What is that? It was like 11 minutes to...
a fragile truce. It has not solved the war in Ukraine. It took American leadership in partnership with many of the countries here today just to bring the two sides to the table in search of a still elusive peace. It was powerless to constrain the nuclear program of radical Shia clerics in Tehran. That required 14 bombs dropped with precision from American B-2 bombers. And it was unable to address the threat to our security from a narco-terrorist dictator in Venezuela. Instead, it took American special forces to bring this fugitive to justice. In a perfect world, all of these problems and more would be solved by diplomats and strongly worded resolutions. But we do not live in a perfect world. And we cannot continue to allow those who blatantly and openly threaten our citizens and endanger our global stability to shield themselves behind abstractions of international law which they themselves routinely violate. This is the path that President Trump and the United States has embarked upon. It is the path we ask you here in Europe to join us on. It is a path we have walked together before and hope to walk together again.
To 1305, 1110 to 1305. That's fucking nuts. That's fucking nuts. Did you hear the shit that he just said, bro? He essentially just called upon European nations to ally with us for the domination of bad actors. He named it. He was like, this is the world now. We bomb Iran. We kidnap Maduro. That is what he's saying. He's saying diplomacy doesn't work anymore. And you're either down for the fight or you're an enemy. That's what he's fucking saying.
For 5 centuries, before the end of the Second World War, the West had been expanding. Its missionaries, its pilgrims, its soldiers, its explorers pouring out from its shores to cross oceans, settle new continents, build vast empires extending out across the globe.
And to slaughter the natives. Are we just gonna move over that and pretend like the European colonizers showed up in America and there was no one here? And we were like, oh, wow, ain't that convenient? Look, it's perfect. There's nobody here. Motherfucker, we slaughtered like 40 to 50 million natives. Like, I don't even think the word genocide does it justice because, like, you know, we got a genocide going on in Gaza where they killed like 400 to 600,000. There was a Holocaust. That's a genocide where they killed 6 million plus like 5 million other people. 50 to 60 million? Brother, there's got to be like, that's like a super genocide. A supercide. That's fucking crazy.
But in 1945, for the first time since the age of Columbus, it was contracting. Europe was in ruins. Half of it lived behind an iron curtain, and the rest looked like it would soon follow. The great Western empires had entered into terminal decline, accelerated by godless communist revolutions.
Accelerated by godless communist revolutions. Is he gonna mention Nazi Germany at all? Is he gonna mention Nazi Germany at all? Is he gonna throw any shade towards fascism? Oh, that's a clip. We're gonna need that. What is that? That's at...
Since the age of Columbus.
We're gonna need 1330. Started off at 1330.
It was contracting. Europe was in ruins. Half of it lived behind an iron
Sorry,
curtain.
a little earlier than that. Give it 1325. 1325. Let's see.
Out across the globe. But in 1945,
yeah,
for the first time since the age of Columbus, it was contracting. Europe was in ruins.
In 45, you're saying 45 was the beginning of the contraction because of godless communist revolutions. What about 1933? What about 1938? What about 1941? What about the rise of Nazi Germany? I'm pretty sure that had a huge fucking role in European politics to the point where we are still dealing with active Nazis, bro. Alternative for Deutschland. That's a fucking Nazi party in Germany. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Half of it lived behind an iron curtain, and the rest looked like it would soon follow. The great Western empires had entered into terminal decline, accelerated by godless communist revolutions and by anti-colonial uprisings.
Anti-colonial uprisings. Holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck, dude. They're taking the mask off. They're literally, like, we used to bullshit around and go, we are gonna save the people of Iraq. It's Operation Iraqi Freedom. We're bringing them democracy. When in reality, like, you're just like defending American contractors who are funneling the oil back to the United States. But like now, they're just like, yeah, no, we're gonna wage war, political war on godless communists and anti-colonialists. What the fuck?
That would transform the world and drape the red hammer and sickle across vast swaths of the map in the years to come.
Oh my God, they're doing Red Scare propaganda in the year of our Lord 2026.
Against that backdrop, then as now, many came to believe that the West's age of dominance had come to an end, and that our future was destined to be a faint and feeble echo of our past. But together, our predecessors recognized that decline was a choice, and it was a choice they refused to make. This is what we did together once before, and this is what President Trump and the United States want to do again now, together with you. And this is why we do not want our allies to be weak, because that makes us weaker. We want allies who can defend themselves so that no adversary will ever be tempted to test our collective strength.
Brother, Trump wants to go to war with NATO. You don't want allies to begin with.
This is why we do not want our allies to be shackled by guilt and shame. We want allies who are proud of their culture and of their heritage, who understand that we are heirs to the same great and noble civilization, and who together with us are willing and able to defend it. And this is why we do not want allies to rationalize the broken...
Bro, this lady's me right now. Look at her looking at the camera, because this whole speech is white supremacy. She's like, yo, chat, am I cooked? Like, dude, this woman knows what's up. She's looking right at the fucking camera. She knows what's up, dude.
Status quo, rather than reckon with what...
She's like, are you hearing this shit, gang?
What is necessary to fix it. For we in America have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline. We do not seek to separate, but to revitalize an old friendship and renew the greatest civilization in human history. What we want is a reinvigorated alliance that recognizes that what has ailed our societies is not just a set of bad policies, but a malaise of hopelessness and complacency. And
oh, my bad. I didn't give you the end of the clip.
Necessary to fix it. And it was a choice they refused to make. Future was by anti-colonial uprisings that would transform the world and drape the red hammer and sickle across vast swaths of the map in the years to come. Against that backdrop, then as now, many came to believe that the West's age of dominance had come to an end, and that our future was destined to be a faint and feeble echo of our past. But together, our predecessors recognized that decline was a choice, and it was a choice they refused to make. This is what we did together once before, and this is what President Trump and the United States want to do again now, together with you. And this is why we do not want our allies to be weak, because that makes us weaker. We want allies who can defend themselves so that no adversary will ever be tempted to test our collective strength. This is why we do not want our allies to be shackled by guilt and shame. We want allies who are proud of their culture and of their heritage, who understand that we are heirs to the same great and noble civilization, and who together with us are willing and able to defend it. And this is why we do not want allies to rationalize the broken status quo, rather than reckon with what is necessary to fix it.
To 1513. All right, to 1513. Whatever it started at, to 1513, please.
For we in America have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline. We do not seek to separate, but to revitalize an old friendship and renew the greatest civilization in human history. What we want is a reinvigorated alliance that recognizes that what has ailed our societies is not just a set of bad policies, but a malaise of hopelessness and complacency. An alliance is the alliance that we want is one that is not paralyzed into inaction by fear. Fear of climate change, fear of war, fear of technology. Instead, we want an alliance that boldly races into the future. And the only fear we have is the fear of the shame of not leaving our nations prouder, stronger, and wealthier for our children. An alliance ready to defend our people, to safeguard...
Brother, if we don't care about climate change, you're not going to be able to leave anything behind for your children, let alone especially your fucking grandchildren. We out of our minds? Your economy means fuck all. Your GDP means fuck all if there's no water to drink, if there's no air to breathe, if there's no land to own. None of it means shit. What are you going to be, the king of ashes? Hey, dumb fuck. The health of the planet actually matters. Maybe you forgot, but the planet is a living organism that can die. We can kill this fucking thing. And then none of your goddamn billions of dollars are gonna mean diddly shit. What are you gonna do? You're gonna get a bunker? You're gonna get a bunker with its own air and its own fucking water? You're gonna live underground like a fucking rat? Is that what you're gonna fucking do?
Our interest and to preserve the freedom of action that allows us to shape our own destiny, not one that exists to operate a global welfare state and atone for the purported sins of past generations. An alliance that does not...
I need that clip. That's a crazy quote.
An alliance ready to...
I need 1605. Or sorry, 16. Give me the minute 16.
To defend our people, to safeguard our interests, and to preserve the freedom of action that allows us to shape our own destiny, not one that exists to operate a global welfare state and atone for the purported sins of past generations. An alliance that does not allow its power to be outsourced, constrained, or subordinated to systems beyond its control. One that does not depend on others for the critical necessities of its national life. And one that does not maintain the polite pretense that our way of life is just one among many, and that asks for permission before it acts. And above all, an alliance based on the recognition that we, the West, have inherited together. What we have inherited together is something that is unique and distinctive and irreplaceable. Because this, after all, is the very foundation of the transatlantic bond.
16 to 1702. Minute 16 to minute 1702.
Acting together in this way, we will not just help recover a sane foreign policy. It will restore to us a clear sense of ourselves. It will restore a place in the world. And in so doing, it will rebuke and deter the forces of civilizational erasure that today menace both America and Europe alike. So in a time of headlines heralding the end of the transatlantic era, let it be known and clear to all that this is neither our goal
Luigi,
nor our wish.
She knocked over her pillow.
I'll get it. I'll get it. Got it. Go.
Okay.
Because for us Americans, our home may be in the Western Hemisphere, but we will always be a child of Europe.
Fucking Aryans, dude. Look at this. Like how the black lady ain't clapping. Muslim ain't clapping either, the woman in the burqa.
Our story began with
the hijab.
an Italian explorer whose adventure into the great unknown to discover a new world brought Christianity to the Americas and became the legend that defined the imagination of our pioneer nation.
Are we flexing Christopher Columbus right now? We flexing a child rapist slave catcher? Is that what we're doing? A guy who accidentally ended up in the United States and was like, yo, you're Indian, right? And they were like, nah. And he goes, yeah, you are. Are we really doing that right now? Guy's a fucking idiot, bro. I'm Italian, and I'm telling you firsthand, guy's a fucking idiot, dude. He's a dipshit. He's a racist piece of shit. He was a child rapist, bro.
Our first colonies were built by English settlers, to whom we owe not just the language we speak, but the whole of our political and legal system.
Yeah, tell that to the natives living on reservations, motherfucker.
Our frontiers were shaped by Scots-Irish, that proud, hardy clan from the hills of Ulster that gave us Davy Crockett and Mark Twain and Teddy Roosevelt and Neil Armstrong. Our great Midwestern heartland was built by German farmers and craftsmen.
They keep saying built. Bro, it wasn't built. It was conquered. We conquered it. We slaughtered the native population, stole their land, and pushed them into reservations. Oh my God.
Who transformed empty plains into a global agricultural powerhouse.
Nah. You can't say they transformed empty plains. Holy shit. He's pretending the natives weren't fucking here. Nah.
Would we speak? But the whole of our political and legal system. Our frontiers were shaped by...
I need 1820. Starting at 1820.
Scots-Irish, that proud, hardy clan from the hills of Ulster that gave us Davy Crockett and Mark Twain and Teddy Roosevelt and Neil Armstrong. Our great Midwestern heartland was built by German farmers and craftsmen who transformed empty plains into a global agricultural powerhouse. And by the way, dramatically upgraded the quality of American beer. Our
Cracking jokes about beer while completely neglecting the genocide of the Native Americans.
expansion into the interior followed the footsteps of French fur traders and explorers whose names, by the way, still adorn the street signs and town names all across the Mississippi Valley. Our horses, our ranches, our rodeos, the entire romance of the cowboy archetype that became synonymous with the American West. These were born in Spain. And our largest and most iconic city was named New Amsterdam before it was named New York. And you know that in the year that my country was founded, Lorenzo and Catalina Giraldi lived in Casal Monferrato in the kingdom of Piedmont, Sardinia.
I need 1820 to...
Iconic city was named New Amsterdam before it was named New York.
1820 to 1920. 1820 to 1920. 1820 to 1920. Yo, he hasn't mentioned Nazi Germany fucking once, bro. This whole thing is about like the defense of Europe, and he's given a bullshit history lesson too, talking about the scourge that has, been shadowing over Europe for all this time. Luigi, do hairas likiri. Nine bosarhund. He hasn't mentioned Nazi Germany fucking once, bro.
And you know that in the year that my country was founded, Lorenzo and Catalina Giraldi lived in Casal Monferrato in the Kingdom of Piedmont, Sardinia. And Jose and Manuela Reina lived in Sevilla, Spain. I don't know what, if anything, they knew about the 13 colonies which had gained their independence from the British Empire. But here's what I'm certain of. They could have never imagined that 250 years later, one of their direct descendants would be back here today on this continent as the chief diplomat of that infant nation. And yet here I am, reminded by my own story that both our histories and our fates will always be linked. Together we rebuilt the shattered continent in the wake of 2 devastating world wars. When we found ourselves divided once again by the Iron Curtain, the Free West linked arms with the courageous dissidents struggling against tyranny in the East to defeat Soviet communism. We have fought against each other, then reconciled, then fought, then reconciled again. And we have bled and died side by side on battlefields from Kapyong to Kandahar. And I'm here today to leave it clear that America is charting the path for a new century of prosperity, and that once again, we want to do it together with you, our cherished allies and our oldest friends. We want to do it together with you, with a Europe that is proud of its heritage and of its history, with a Europe that has the spirit of creation and liberty that sent ships out into uncharted seas and birthed our civilization, with a Europe that has the means to defend itself and the will to survive. We should be proud of what we achieved together in the last century, but now we must confront and embrace the opportunities of a new one, because yesterday is over, the future is inevitable, and our destiny together awaits. Thank you.
Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ. This entire speech was, hey, we're going to be doing another global war, and you're either on our side or you're against us. You're either with us or you're against us. That's what that entire speech was. It was a threat. The entire speech was a threat. God, that's remarkable. Jackson Franklin for Congress invited you, huh? Oh, that guy. I like that guy. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Oh, this fucking chair is always fucking
Sinking. Thummy, we didn't even make the video yet. I like that, though. I like that Thummy. I like that Thummy. All right. We didn't even make the video yet, though.
We got
Okie dokie. So we can get the timeline now. We can get the timeline going.
gather here today as members
All right, what are my timestamps?
saved and changed.
Keep that pinned for me. So we got 3:35 to 4:20. $3:35. Then we've got 4:39. $4:39. Then we've got, oh, I gotta copy this.
It is our
Let's see. We got 752.
And political.
Oh, I got it on my phone here. Thank you. All right. 334, 438, 749, 925 we're going to need. $11.10.
One. We focus of our societies and the survival of our civil.
$13.25.
Empires extend.
$16.
Leaving our nation.
And then 1820. Thank you, Ace of Spades.
We want to do it together with you, with a Europe that is proud of its ships, with a Europe together with you, our cherished allies and our oldest friends.
Okay, and then we'll finish it there. Alrighty. There's a couple other things I wanted to cover here. Yeah, this. Start off with that. All right. Yeah, we've got some good stuff. We've got some good stuff. We're ready. And then also for the second video of the day, what I've got queued up for you is Hakeem Jeffries refusing to stop taking AIPAC money. And then the rest of the video, what I'm going to be doing is showing you how, like, the Democrat institution, the DNC, it is doesn't give a fuck about you. Or all it cares about is maintaining the status quo and the, like, never-ending ties to Israel, because we've got Hakeem Jeffries saying he's never going to stop taking money from AIPAC. I want you to understand exactly how much money he has taken from AIPAC. This is $1.74 million. That doesn't include the money that he's gotten from other Israeli PACs, the Israeli lobby. Then we got Chuck Schumer talking about how nobody has ever done more for Israel than him and the Democrat Party under his leadership. And then we've got Gavin Newsom just with his stupid fucking interesting when he's talking about AIPAC. So yeah, that'll be the second video. But the first one, you already know what's coming. All right. So unfortunately, a lot of you are going to have to watch those clips again, but it's important. It is important. And now you get to be part of the video we're going to make. All right. All right. All right. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to make a video? Let's make this money! Before we do start, I just want to remind you, because I'm certain there are people in here who have never been here before. Hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. That's it. That's all I was going to say. That's all I was going to say. Is that cool? Is that cool? We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We fight for the gospel and honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we are. Are you ready to make some propaganda? Breaking news. All right. Want to put Stalin on the cube for the video? Yeah, we might as well. Stalin. Stalingrad. Stalingrad. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all locked in? Y'all locked in? All right. Here we go. Here we go. God damn it, Luigi. Don't you fucking start right now. Don't you start. Hold on. I knew it. Hey, mama. Mama. Hey. Okay. I'm making a video. Shh, 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 shh. Okay, now we'll start again. Colonialism is back on the menu, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, Narco Rubio, he gave a speech at the Munich Security Conference in front of European leaders. And the gist of his speech, I just watched the entire thing live. The gist of his speech was, hey, we're gonna go to war with the entirety of the global south, and you're either with us or against us. Quite literally, he gave a 22-minute long threat to the European world and said, you're either with us or you're against us. Talking about how, like, flexing colonialism and imperialism. And by the way, he's talking about the great scourge that has haunted Europe. And he doesn't mention Nazi Germany fucking once. He does talk about those godless communists. Genuinely calls them, what does he say? Godless communist revolution. And then he insults, he's like, these anti-colonialist like agitators. Like, bro, we are entering the point where, like, they're taking off their masks entirely, bro. They're you know, we used to at least lie and be like, this is Operation Iraqi Freedom. We're going to be delivering democracy to the people of Iraq. Meanwhile, like, every U.S. soldier that served in Iraq was actually just helping, like, U.S. contractors farm oil and opium. Now they're like, hey, guess what? We're gonna take over the South to farm their fucking oil. How does that sound? And if you're not with us, you're against us. Crazy shit. We're talking Hitler level, like we're talking Genghis Khan level, all right? And what I did was I compiled what I think are the most important moments of his 22-minute long speech. I've got them all queued up for you. Before we do dive in, hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. I'm a dirtbag leftist, which means I'm a socialist, and I fucking hate fascism. If you do want to support this channel, there's a couple of ways you can do it for free. You can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That costs you nothing, Jack, but it helps me immensely. If you do want to support this channel financially, because this is real independent media, I have no advertisers, I've never had a sponsor, I don't have conversations with governments or billionaires or PACs or any of that shit. So if you do want to support the channel financially, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You see that on the cube right there? That's a direct donation. Thank you for that $8 donation. Can you please say fuck Donald Trump burger for my boyfriend? Yeah, sure, fuck Donald Trump burger. If you do want to support me, you can click that thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can go down below to buy merch. We've got the Democratic Socialist merch line, we got the Duty Calls merch line, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got posters, we got stickers, we got all that jazz. You can also click the join button down below to become a member for $5. That'll give you early access to a lot of the videos and access to the member-only emotes. And then last but not least, you can become a patron on Patreon. Big shout out to everybody who has ever donated a single penny to the channel. You guys are the reason why we can keep this going. This is entirely grassroots funded by you, the viewer. I am simply your megaphone. Without further ado, I think we just dive right the fuck in. So the first thing I want to show you is just a like a recap of Marco's speech. This is from Ben Norton. Shout out to Ben Norton. And we also have some of the script here, but get a look at this. So here's what he says, Ben Norton. This is insane. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio just gave one of the most explicitly pro-colonialist speeches I have seen in the 21st century. The U.S. empire wants Europe to help it recolonize the global south. Rubio praised Western colonialists for, quote, settling new continents, building vast empires extending out across the globe, end quote. Then Rubio complained about the Global South's decolonization, portraying it as a sinister communist plot. Rubio lamented, quote, "The great Western empires had entered into terminal decline, accelerated by godless communist revolutions and by anti-colonial uprisings that would transform the world and drape the red hammer and sickle across vast swaths of the map in years to come." I have that on video for you. Rubio delivered this speech at the Munich Security Conference, surrounded by European leaders who gave him a standing ovation. They loved the pro-colonialist diatribe, and don't worry, I have that too. So like, it isn't like the European leaders are like, no, fuck you, America, you're being too brutish. No, European leaders are bending over a barrel and taking it up the ass by fucking Donald Trump. The U.S. Secretary of State insisted that North American and European imperialists should unite in order to reverse, quote, the West's managed decline, to revive, quote, the West's age of dominance, to, quote, renew the greatest civilization in human history. This is a blatant call by the U.S. empire to resuscitate Western colonialism and recolonize the global South, which represents the global majority. What the U.S. empire did to Gaza, Venezuela, and currently Cuba is what he wants to do to the entire global South. And I've said this before on stream, bro. What do you think? You think taking over Venezuela is it? Motherfucker, they want Mexico, Cuba, Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic, Argentina. They want the entire continent. The motherfucker Trump, he posts like, you know, the red, white, and blue on the United States of America, all of Canada, the entirety of the global South. They want to own the Western Hemisphere. That's why they call it the Monroe Doctrine, right? The Monroe Doctrine, which is a very old piece of paper, it's a very old fucking rule, essentially says that we, America, we have an obligation to protect the Western Hemisphere. Sure, yeah, we do. But under Donald Trump and the rest of his fascist dogmen, they believe that the only way for us to protect the Western Hemisphere is to own the entire Western Hemisphere. It's fucking ludicrous. And one of my favorite things is like, bro, we have a hard enough time maintaining the United States of America. You really think that we could handle owning all of Canada and the global South? Are you fucking mentally retarded? All right. Now, let's start diving into our little bitch boy, Narco Rubio. So all of these tabs here are different points that I think are really important to listen to. So let's start off with this first one here. By the way, I'm putting him on 1.5 times speed because I don't want to listen to this piece of shit fucking speak for longer than I have to. So he does sound like he's coked up to the gills, which he regularly is. So it's totally explainable. Here we go.
To appease a climate cult, we have imposed...
Oh, yeah, to appease a climate cult. That's why I picked this one. So he says that anybody who cares about climate change is in a climate cult, right? And he's about to say, like, all the evil shit that we're doing to appease a climate cult. Let's go back. Here we go.
Use hard power to pursue their own interests. To appease a climate cult, we have imposed energy policies on ourselves that are impoverishing our people, even as our competitors exploit oil and coal and natural gas and anything else, not just to power their economies, but to use as leverage against our own.
So here's my problem here. When you're talking about the quote-unquote climate cult and how they're trying to get us into renewable energy and green energy and all this shit, right? Do you think we're doing that for us? Like, do you think that I advocate for, like, hey, Luigi, shush. Do you think I advocate for green energy and renewable energy because, like, it'll help me? That's not why we advocate for it. We advocate for it because this planet is quite literally a living fucking organism, and we can kill it. None of your economies, none of your GDPs, none of your 50 fucking mansions or your imperialist tendencies will mean diddly shit when you're the king of ash, motherfucker. What are you gonna rule over from your fucking bunker when the air is unbreathable and there's no fucking water left because we've used all the water to cool down our AI supercomputers so that some toothless fucking hick can make AI generated CSAM. You'll go, hey Grok, can you make this thing have huge fucking tits? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And in the pursuit of a world without borders, we opened our doors to an unprecedented wave of mass migration.
Oh my God.
That threatens the cohesion of our societies, the continuity of our culture, and the future of our people. We may
It's hilarious how he talks about mass migration when the United States of America was literally built upon, you guessed it, mass migration. We came here from another fucking place and then slaughtered the Native Americans. In his entire 22-minute long fucking speech, this son of a bitch, he doesn't mention the Nazis once when he's talking about the great scourge that has been haunting over Europe. And he doesn't mention the Native Americans to the point where he hits us with revisionist history. We're going to get to that clip where he just pretends like we showed up and it was empty. Empty fields. He literally says this at one point. Empty fields, and we built a great empire upon empty fucking fields, as if we didn't commit a super genocide on 60 million Native Americans and then push the survivors into fucking reservations. It's unbelievable.
We made these mistakes together. And now, together, we owe it to our people to face those facts and to move forward, to rebuild. Under President Trump, the United States of America will once again take on the task of renewal and restoration.
Unbelievable. All right, I got another clip for you here.
It is our preference, and it is our hope to do
Is he not on 1.5? He might not be on 1.5 anymore. Hold on.
this together with you, our friends here in Europe. For the United States and Europe, we belong together. America was founded 250 years ago, but the roots began here on this continent long before. The men who settled and built the nation of my birth arrived on our shores carrying the memories and the traditions and the Christian faith of their ancestors as a sacred inheritance.
Yeah, the memories and traditions of the Christian faith. You mean like showing up and murder raping 50 million fucking Native Americans, stealing their entire continent from them, just destroying them through gun violence and disease? Is that the fucking is that the Christian way? Like, hey, let's not forget that when Columbus got here, he started rounding up like 5 to 9-year-old girls for his sailors to rape.
An unbreakable link between the old world and the new. We are part of one civilization, Western civilization. We are bound to one another by the deepest bonds that nations could share, forged by centuries of shared history, Christian faith, culture, heritage, language, ancestry, and the sacrifices our forefathers made together for the common civilization to which we have fallen heir.
We didn't make any fucking sacrifices. That we sacrificed the native people on this land, bro.
And so this is why we Americans may sometimes come off as a little direct and urgent.
If by that you mean psychopathic murderers, then yeah, we definitely come off as blunt and urgent.
In our council. This is why President Trump demands seriousness and reciprocity from our friends here in Europe. The reason why, my friends, is because we care deeply. We care deeply about your future and ours. And if at times we disagree, our disagreements come from our profound sense of concern about a Europe with which we are connected. Not just economically, not just militarily. We are connected spiritually, and we are connected culturally. We want Europe to be strong. We believe that Europe must survive.
Dude, we're literally moving into like Nazi-esque rhetoric. We're talking about like the only threat that he is talking about are black and brown people moving into these nations. That's the only threat that he's talking about. I got more for you now.
Destiny.
We put him on 1.5.
It was here in Europe, where the ideas that planted the seeds of liberty that changed the world were born.
It was here in Europe. Brother, do you know anything about human history? What about the Ottoman Empire? What about all the different Chinese dynasties? What about the Kingdom of Mali? What about all of the other fucking history that did, like, oh my God, this guy's pretending like what about math, Marco? What about numbers, Marco? That's all from the fucking Arab world, dude. Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my shit.
It was here in Europe, which gave the world the rule of law, the universities,
and the science. Rule of law in universities born in Europe? What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Scientific revolution.
What about Greece?
It was this continent that produced the genius of Mozart and Beethoven, of Dante and Shakespeare, of Michelangelo and Da Vinci, of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And this is the place where the vaulted ceilings of the Sistine Chapel and the towering spires of the great cathedral in Cologne, they testify not just to the greatness of our past, or to a faith in God that inspired these marvels. They foreshadow the wonders that await us in our future. But only if we are unapologetic in our heritage and proud of this common inheritance can we together begin the work of envisioning and shaping our economic and our political future. Deindustrialization was not inevitable.
Deindustrialization was started by Ronald fucking Reagan, bro. He offshored all of our industries so that we could pay migrant laborers like pennies on the dollar and then ship the shit back because it helps profit the Epstein class more than the working man. Dude, you don't give a fuck about the American people, narco, you fucking warmongering Cuban piece of shit.
It was a conscious policy choice, a decades-long economic undertaking that stripped our nations of their wealth, of their productive capacity, and of their independence. And the loss of our supply chain sovereignty was not a function of a prosperous and healthy system of global trade. It was foolish. It was a foolish but voluntary transformation of our economy that left us dependent on others for our needs and dangerously vulnerable to crisis.
Oh my God, bro. All right, we got more.
Mass migration is not, was not, isn't some fringe concern of little consequence. It was and continues to be a crisis which is transforming and destabilizing societies all across the West. Together, we can reindustrialize our economies and rebuild our capacity to defend our people. But the work of this new alliance should not be focused just on military cooperation and reclaiming the industries of the past. It should also be focused on together advancing our mutual interests in new frontiers.
In new frontiers. In new frontiers. What frontier do you think he's talking about, bro? What do you think he's talking about, Mars? He's talking about the entire global South. And then when it comes to Israel, he's talking about the entire Middle East. They want the collapse of Iran, the collapse of Jordan, the collapse of Egypt, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Mexico, Nicaragua, Argentina, Honduras. They want the collapse of every non-white nation on planet Earth. They also don't have the fucking balls to threaten the Asian world because that's not a fight we would win. If you think the United States of America would win in a war against China, you are cope maxing. That's what you're injecting copium straight into your fucking veins.
Tackling our ingenuity, our creativity, and the dynamic spirit to build a new Western century. Commercial space travel and cutting-edge artificial intelligence, industrial automation and flex manufacturing, creating a Western supply chain for critical minerals not vulnerable to extortion from other powers.
We extort that. We are the ones extorting other powers, bro. What the fuck do you think we just did to Venezuela? We kidnapped their goddamn leader, turned it into a vassal state, and are currently extorting them using the threat of more fucking bombs and the discombobulator. And in exchange, all you have to do is give us the entirety of your oil reserves.
And a unified effort to compete for market share in the economies of the global South. Together, we can not only take back control of our own industries and supply chains, we can prosper in the areas that will define the 21st century. But we must also gain control of our national borders. Controlling who and how many people enter our countries, this is not an expression of xenophobia, it is not hate. It is a fundamental act of national sovereignty. And the failure to do so is not just an abdication of one of our most basic duties owed to our people. It is an urgent threat to the fabric of our societies and the survival of our civilization itself. And finally, we can no longer place the so-called global order above the vital interests of our people and our nations.
We can no longer place the global order over the vital needs of our people and our nations. Now, the global order is just a fancy way of saying, like, the state of humanity, right? Because, listen, I understand a lot of you guys think individually, you know, you're like, I'm an individual. But, like, bro, we are one species. You know, this is why I often say I wish a fucking alien mothership would show up and then we fire a nuclear arsenal at it. And it's like, pfft, does fuck all. Because immediately we would drop all this stupid bullshit religion wars and culture wars and mineral wars. If some non-human threat showed up, we would go, huh, okay, all right, I guess you're not that bad, because that fucking thing is horrifying, right? The state of humanity as a whole matters more than the will of one singular nation or its people. And the thing is, you fucking know that, Marco. Everybody knows that. My favorite example, Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany was like, hey, you know what? We are going to conquer the entire fucking planet. We are going to enslave half of Europe. We are going to slaughter another half of Europe, and everyone is going to be our bitch. And that will help Germany. That will definitely make Germany great again. And yeah, you're right. That would definitely make Germany great again. Here's the problem, fuckface. I'll just body your shit if you try to take my freedom. Rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Like, we understood this when the fucking Germans tried to take over the world, and now we're flipping the fucking script and going, hey, our turn. You're either with us or you're against us. Suck my fucking dick, you imperialist cokehead!
We do not need to abandon the system of international cooperation we authored. And we don't need to dismantle the global institutions of the old order that together we built. But these must be reformed. These must be rebuilt. For example, the United Nations still has tremendous potential to be a tool for good in the world. But we cannot ignore that today, on the most pressing matters before us, it has no answers and has played virtually no role. It could not solve the war in Gaza. Instead, it was American leadership that freed captives from barbarians and brought about a fragile truce.
Marco, they're evaporating Palestinians. Marco, the Israeli Zionist dog people are using thermobaric weapons that burn at 7,000 degrees Fahrenheit, literally boiling people alive and leaving behind 0 remains. What the fuck sort of peace or truce are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
It has not solved the war in Ukraine. It took American leadership in partnership with many of the countries here today just to bring the two sides to the table in search of a still elusive peace.
So you can't do it either. So Europe couldn't do it and America can't do it. Maybe that's because Donald Trump is blackmailed by Vladimir Putin and Benjamin Netanyahu because they got videos of him fucking children. Maybe that has something to do with it.
It was powerless to constrain the nuclear program of radical Shia clerics in Tehran. That required 14 bombs dropped with precision from American B-2 bombers.
And it failed! And it failed! King Donald keeps going, we obliterated their nuclear program, which is exactly why we're gonna have to bomb them again to obliterate their nuclear program. I'm sorry, what the fuck does the word obliterate mean to you, narco? Because to me it means it's gone, it's kaput, it's done, it's ash, it's dirt, it's soil. Not, we'll be back in 3 months to obliterate it again. Oh my, and also every action that you're fucking taking is pushing the world into more nuclear weapons, dude. Because hey, narco, what nations do you not have the balls to fuck with? You don't fuck with Russia. You don't fuck with China. You don't fuck with North Korea. What's a common trait those three have? Nuclear weapons. So when you keep on fucking with Iran over and over and over and over, claiming they're 2 weeks from making a nuclear weapon since the year 1979, eventually they're gonna go, you know what, fuck it, why don't we just make a fucking nuclear weapon and then hold it up and go, see, we did it. Now you ain't gonna bomb us no more, Jack, because I swear to God, wallahi, I will blow us all up. Like, you are doing this. You are creating a world with more nuclear weapons because of your never-ending fucking warmongering.
And it was unable to address the threat to our security from a narco-terrorist dictator in Venezuela.
Oh my God!
Instead, it took American special forces to bring this fugitive to justice. In a perfect world, all of these problems and more would be solved by diplomats and strongly worded resolutions. But we do not live in a perfect world, and we cannot continue to allow those who blatantly and openly threaten our citizens and endanger our global stability to shield themselves behind abstractions of international law which they themselves routinely violate.
Bro, he is saying we are moving into an era where us, the United States of America, are going to violate international law to kidnap our enemies, bomb their soil, take over their nation, and you, Europe, you know how powerful our military is. You are either with us or you are against us. That is the message this guy is saying.
This is the path that President Trump and the United States has embarked upon. It is the path we ask you here in Europe to join us on. It is a path we have walked together before and hope to walk together again.
Yeah, it was a path that we walked together before when we were murdering people by the tens of fucking millions. All right, I got more.
Civilization itself.
I got more.
And finally, we can no longer place the so-called global order above the vital interests of our people and our nations.
Oh, no, we already covered that clip. My bad.
Extending out across the globe. But in 1945,
oh my God, this clip got me. Irked, motherfucker. You listen to this shit. And you tell me. You think before I tell you. You tell me. You just wait. You think before I tell you, go, wait a minute. He's kind of skipping over something, ain't he?
explorers pouring out from its shores to cross oceans, settle new continents, build vast empires extending out across the globe. But in 1945, for the first time since the age of Columbus, it was contracting.
In 1945, for the first time since the age of Columbus, the Western powers were collapsing. 1945, the end of World War II, when we won World War II. What about 33? What about 38? What about 41? What about the fucking rise of Nazi Germany? What about Adolf fucking Hitler? Are we pretending this never happened? Just you wait till you hear the next fucking thing he has to say. Holy shit, I'm going back again. You gotta hear this shit.
Join us on. It is a path we have walked together before and hope to walk together again. For 5 centuries, before the end of the Second World War, the West had been expanding. Its missionaries, its pilgrims, its soldiers, its explorers pouring out from its shores to cross oceans, settle new continents, build vast empires extending out across the globe.
Here it comes.
But in 1945, for the first time since the age of Columbus, it was contracting. Europe was in ruins. Half of it lived behind an iron curtain, and the rest looked like it would soon follow. The great Western empires had entered into terminal decline, accelerated by godless communist revolutions and by anti-colonial uprisings.
Accelerated by godless communist revolutions and anti-colonialist uprisings. That is what he's saying caused, what did he say? The disintegration of the West or some shit? Nothing to say about like, yeah, dude, yeah, no, you're right. Europe was in rubble. Why? Why was Europe in rubble? Was it because of communist revolutions? Or was it because of fascist authoritarian dictators trying to expand their empires? Answer that fucking question yourself, bro. Godless communist revolutions? And also, how are you going to paint anti-colonialism as a bad thing, bro? How are you going to paint that as a bad thing? I don't understand. Like, okay, by your rule of thumb, so if China is strong enough to colonize the U.S., they should, right? And we should be like, hey, man, they've got the power, so they might as well. I mean, they're literally rewriting history. They're trying to rewrite fucking history.
That would transform the world and drape the red hammer and sickle across vast swaths of the map in the years to come.
What is this, fucking domino theory? What is this, 1968? This is, if we don't stop the spread of communism into Vietnam, then Vietnam will fall, and then Laos, and then Cambodia, and then it'll make its way over the ocean into South America, and then communism will make its way up to Mexico until the next thing you know, we've got the Reds at our back door. Guess what happened? We lost the Vietnam War. Vietnam became communist. Domino theory didn't fucking happen. You stupid piece of shit.
Against that backdrop, then, as now, many came to believe that the West's age of dominance had come to an end, and that our future was destined to be a faint and feeble echo of our past.
Who the fuck ever thought that?
But together, our predecessors recognized that decline was a choice, and it was a choice they refused to make. This is what we did together once before, and this is what President Trump and the United States want to do again now, together with you.
All right, I got more for you. We're coming up close to the end here.
Nations prouder, stronger, and wealthier for our children. An alliance ready to defend caretakers of the West's managed decline. We do not seek to separate, but to revitalize an old friendship and renew the greatest civilization in human history. What we want is a reinvigorated alliance that recognizes that what has ailed our societies is not just a set of bad policies, but a malaise of hopelessness and complacency. An alliance is the alliance that we want is one that is not paralyzed into inaction by fear. Fear of climate change, fear of war, fear of technology. Instead,
fear of climate change and fear of war? Let's start with the first one, brother. Like I said earlier, your GDPs, your economies, your business deals, your alliances mean fucking nothing if we kill this planet. And we've only got like 15 to 20 years of fresh water left if we keep on cooling down these AI supercomputers like Grok, okay? None of it matters. And then to your, what was your second point, you fucking stupid cokehead?
Complacency in history. What we want.
Oh, fear of war. If you're not afraid of war, I don't want you in the government, okay? War is scary. War is brutal, okay? It's not a fucking game. I know it's a game to you, Marco, because you'll never fucking serve, and none of your bloodline will ever have to sacrifice themselves on the front line so that the billionaires can profit off of our corpses. But it's not a game to the working man. We send our sons and our daughters to fight and die out of a state of desperation. We promise them socialist policy so they will go and die for fucking capitalism. And oh, we can't be afraid of war. We need to be so willing to send All right, how about fucking Barron Trump on the front lines then? How about, I don't even know if you have kids, Marco, but how about your fucking kid on the front lines? Give him an M4 and tell him to go fight for democracy.
Want is a reinvigorated alliance that recognizes that what has ailed our societies is not just a set of bad policies, but a malaise of hopelessness and complacency. An alliance is the alliance that we want is one that is not paralyzed into inaction by fear. Fear of climate change, fear of war, fear of technology. Instead, we want an alliance that boldly races into the future. And the only fear we have is the fear of the shame of not leaving our nations prouder, stronger, and wealthier for our children. An alliance ready to defend our people, to safeguard our interests, and to preserve the freedom of action that allows us to shape our own destiny. Not one that exists to operate a global welfare state and atone for the purported sins of past generations.
A global welfare state and not to atone for the former sins of our people. Oh my God, dude. He's literally hitting us with like, no more white guilt. White people, be proud, be proud, be proud, be proud. Come on, play for me. I got another clip for you, but it's not playing. 1816. Let's hit it with a refresh and go to 1816.
And human depend on us, rebuke, and to whom we owe not just the language we speak, but the whole of our political and legal system. Our frontiers were shaped by Scots-Irish, that proud, hardy clan from the hills of Ulster that gave us Davy Crockett and Mark Twain and Teddy Roosevelt and Neil Armstrong. Our great Midwestern heartland was built by German farmers and craftsmen who transformed empty plains.
Empty plains? Empty plains? 40 to 50 million Native Americans. We slaughtered them. Slaughtered them. I mean, I don't even know if genocide is strong enough of a word, bro. That's a super genocide. Oh, the Germans and the Scots showed up and it was empty. And we built a country. What the fuck do you think this is? The Garden of Eden, bitch? What the fuck are you talking about?
Into a global agricultural powerhouse. And by the way, dramatically upgraded the quality of American beer.
Just a room full of fucking balding crackers laughing at the joke of Native Americans having never fucking existed. I mean, I couldn't. Look at this fucking room. Look at all these bald heads, bro. This is fucking insane.
Our expansion into the interior followed the footsteps of French fur traders and explorers whose names, by the way, still adorn the street signs and town names all across the Mississippi Valley. Our horses, our ranches, our rodeos, the entire romance of the cowboy archetype that became synonymous with the American West. These were born in Spain. And our largest and most iconic city was named New Amsterdam before it was named New York.
Brother, why are you unironically hitting them with like the woke liberal? Because like that's the shit that I say is like, bro, like there's no such thing as American culture. American culture is multiple different cultures brought over here and amalgamated into this fucking melting pot. Why are you doing that? Because like, you know, some dumb fucking himbo will be like, well, cowboys are American. And you're the one up there going, actually, that's Spanish. And New York is American. Well, actually, no, that's New Amsterdam. Oh, burgers are American. No, that's German. Apple pie's American. No, that's German. Like, there's no such thing as American culture. It does not exist. It has never existed. Oh my God, you're doing my work for me.
And you know that in the year that my country was founded, Lorenzo and Catalina Giraldi lived in Casal Monferrato in the Kingdom of Piedmont, Sardinia. And Jose and Manuel Reina lived in Sevilla, Spain. I don't know what, if anything, they knew about the 13 colonies which had gained their independence from the British Empire. But here's what I'm certain of. They could have never imagined that 250 years later, one of their direct descendants would be back here today on this continent as the chief diplomat of that infant nation.
Oh, dude, if I could show your ancestors clips of you, they would genuinely castrate themselves. They would do everything they could to prevent you from ever fucking existing, dude. You are a disgrace. All right, now the last thing I want to show you is the very end of his speech where the European leaders give him a fucking standing ovation, bro. The European leaders are down for the funk, for just colonizing the entirety of the black and brown world.
We want
the standing ovation may have been earlier. My apologies.
to do it together with you, with a Europe that is proud of its heritage and of its history, with a Europe that has the spirit of creation and liberty that sent ships out into uncharted seas and birthed our civilization, with a Europe that has the means to defend itself and the will to survive. We should be proud of what we achieved together in the last century, but now we must confront and embrace the opportunities of a new one. Because yesterday is over. The future is inevitable. And our destiny together awaits. Thank you.
All right, that's the whole fucking speech. That's the whole speech. Genuinely, one of the more horrifying speeches I've ever heard. I understand that Marco isn't Donald and he's capable of wrapping his fucking warmongering colonialist tendencies in a pretty little package with a bow on it and shit, but do not fool yourself into believing anything other than this. This was a 22-minute long threat. Not only to the entirety of the global south, but a threat to European nations that if you do not join us, you will end up on that list of future colonies. That's what the fuck he just said. Oh, I fucking hate Marco Rubio, and I fucking hate fascists, and I fucking hate colonialists, and I fucking hate Zionists, and I fucking hate ICE. Feels good, don't it? All right, listen, we waltz through the fire together. That's what we do here. I grab your hand, I put my other hand on the small of your back. You fucking like that shit. We lock eyes, and I get you. We waltz. We waltz through the fucking flames. You think I wanted to watch that? I didn't. I know you fucking didn't, but the only way that we're going to be able to consume it and understand what's going on in the world around us is if we waltz through that fucking fire together. You look at me, and we're going to get through that shit. I am a revolutionary optimist. I do believe that we are going to win. I always do, because at the end of the day, fascists overplay their hand every single time. See, civilizations are built upon foundations, right? And that foundation can only handle so much. It depends on what nation you're in. But the American empire is a 250-year-old empire. That is a baby. A newborn baby on the world stage, and our foundation is incredibly weak. Our foundation is gun violence and the genocide of the Native Americans. That is it. It can barely maintain the faux democracy that we have come to know and love. The democracy is dangling by a fucking thread, and if you think that that foundation can maintain an authoritarian dictator, you are wrong. As they branch out away from that foundation, it will eventually teeter to the edge and collapse. That will leave wiggle room for real leftist movement, for genuine socialism, for genuine social programs that benefit the working class more than the fucking Epstein class, for things that will make our life better, the 370 fucking million of us, rather than the 750 fucking billionaires. That's it! You either embrace populism or it tramples you. That's all I got for you. If you're here live, you stay. We're going to keep on going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely. If you do want to support the channel financially, please do. Every dollar goes a long way. Thank you very much for, I think, 144,000 subs or something like that. I love you all. We're on the road to 1 million, baby. Do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers. All right. Big Henry Hoover Inc. and I'm sponsoring your channel if you can't do anything about it. Get the fuck out of my face. I'll fucking blow you up. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I won't do that. For legal reasons, that is a joke. Yeah, copyright. I am a little worried about copyright there. Fuck that. Send me that thumbnail again. Thank you for the $10. Take my Monopoly money, angry Italian man. Long live socialism. Thank you very much. Luigi, mama, don't cry. Oh my God, she knocked over her fucking blanket again. Hold on. I got it. You are so fucking lucky that you have me wrapped around your little fucking finger, your little paw, your little claw. You got me wrapped around your little claw. Look at you running around. Look at you. All right, there's my thumbnail. Luigi, episode 385. All right. Okay. Quote, godless communists. Marco Rubio declares war on the entire global South. Oh, fuck. It's caps locked. Marco Rubio declares war on the entire global South. Marco Rubio calls for a crusade. Marco Rubio threatens war with the entirety of South America. Okay, it needs a little tweak. Thank you for the $14. I appreciate you. Colonialism is back on the menu, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know... Alrighty. Let's make an advertisement. Okay. All right. Let's see. Colonialism is back on the menu, boys. Marco Rubio just gave a 22-minute-long speech at the Munich Security Conference. And I'm not kidding. It was a 22-minute-long threat to the entirety of the global South, like all of South America, and to European leaders, where essentially his entire speech was, you are either with us or against us, and we are going to war with these godless communists and anti-colonialist revolutionaries. That's literally the shit that he said. Also, he starts talking about the great scourge that helped Europe collapse in the 1900s, and he doesn't mention Nazi Germany fucking once, bro. He says that the collapse of Europe began in 1945. Doesn't mention 1933, 1938, 1941. No, none of that fucking matters. He doesn't even mention Nazi Germany. But of course, he goes out of his way to mention the godless communists because you live in fucking Red Scare Propaganda 2, Electric Boogaloo. Or actually, this is Red Scare Propaganda 3, Electric Boogaloo, because we went through that in the early 1900s and then again during the McCarthy era. It doesn't fucking matter. But I amalgamated some of the craziest fucking moments of Narco Rubio, you fucking coke fiend, of his insane goddamn threat. I put them together. We covered it. It's about 8 different points of his 22-minute long speech. I'm talking, yo, genuinely, we're like moving into Genghis Khan territory. We're moving into an era where they genuinely want to go to war with the entire continent of South America. And we are telling European leaders, you're either with us or you're against us. Like it's fucking Star Wars, bro. Yeah, no, absolutely mind-fucking, but I will tell you, refer to my last fucking video. I know it sounds scary, but we're gonna beat these fascist dogs because they're overplaying their fucking hand. America can barely handle the democracy that we have, and you think we can handle an authoritarian dictatorship? This fucking bitch will come collapsing down. You're gonna end up with 50 third world nations, you dumb bastards. Anyway, I fucking hate fascism, I fucking hate Republicans, I fucking hate Marco Rubio. Make sure to check out my latest YouTube video, new YouTube video, new YouTube video, new YouTube video. Ah! All right. That's a good one. That right there, that's a good one. Marco Rubio threatens war with the entire global South. New episode of the Valenti VOD. Still waiting for John Brown in the cube? Listen, you're talking to one of the dumbest, stupidest motherfuckers you'll ever meet in your life when it comes to technology. You want John Brown in the cube, you gotta ask Ovi. You gotta ask Ovi for that. Found this version of Bella Ciao that shouldn't be copyrighted. Unfortunately, I'm not risking it. Thank you, though. Luigi, no Borg. No Borg. No Borg. Excuse me. God damn. Micro Rubio, that's hilarious. Update on the girly merch? No update other than I got Ovi on it, and you know, that's his fucking job, not mine. You know? You know. What's wrong? What's the matter? Mrs. Weenge. You're crazy. What do you want? What do you want? You want to play? Here, I'll give you this. Granny? Go get it. Go get it. Part Italian too. You know anybody with the last name Barillone? No. Google Doc is ready. I'm not going to use it today. Thank you, though. Should make bumper stickers, too? Yeah, one of these days. One of these days. All right. I wish Cubans were real. So do I. Do you have a video on the rise of Mustache Man? I have a video on the rise of fascism. Check this out. Newly formed empire, they wanted a taste of colonial power. They start building colonies in places like Africa. They start to boom with their industry, and they become an economic powerhouse of Europe, right? Quickly adopting the practice of capitalism and showing the world what German capitalism is capable of. And these frugal German people, they amass their wealth, hoping to pass it on to the next generation with this looming question: will the next generation be better than the first? Somebody just said the audio is cooked? What's wrong with the audio? What happened to the audio there? Why is it cooked? Hey! None of that. None of that. Audio was fine? Oh, okay. All right. Make a second video. I got a second video of the day. I want to bang this out. Y'all ready? We're going to be talking about Hakeem Jeffries. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. The enemy within is real. It's Zionists. It's the Israel lobby. They have their grubby little paws embedded in every fucking branch of the government, whether it be Democrat controlled or Republican controlled. And what I want to talk about are 3 Democrats who are seemingly beholden to the Israel lobby. We got Hakeem Jeffries, also known as AIPAC Shakur. We got Chuck Schumer, also known as Cuck Schumer. And then we got Gavin Newsom, also known as Gavin Newsom. Hassan Piker is currently under a lot of fire for refusing to pledge fealty to Gavin Newsom in the year 2026 and like saying he would rather vote third party. Yeah, me the fuck too. I'm not voting for Gavin fucking Newsom. This guy, I have a clip to show you, but one thing I want you to understand is Gavin Newsom, he helped raise $200 million to combat increasing the income tax of the 1% in California. He's on his hands and knees begging Silicon Valley tech bros for their fucking money because as we all know, when Trump runs for his 3rd fucking term, he's gonna be seeking out donations, and if those Silicon Valley tech bros genuinely donate to a Trump 3rd term, that is foregoing the Constitution. That is a black spot that will permanently stain your entire career moving forward. So they have to find an alternative, and Gavin is trying to be their alternative. Oh, please, Mr. Zuckerberg. Oh, please, Mr. Elon Musk. Oh, please, Mr. Sundar Pichai. Please give me the money. I'll be such a good Democrat for you. I don't care about making the lives better for the working class, but I do care about the tech bros and the Zionists. So, what I want to show you is a clip of fucking Hakeem Jeffries on Wajahat Ali's show. I believe this is, what is this, the Joy Reid show, where he simply refuses to stop taking AIPAC money. Get a look at this fucking shit. Before we do jump in there, hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. This is the Valenti VOD. This is real independent media. Never had a conversation with an advertiser, a billionaire, a government, a sponsor, a PAC, any of that shit. So if you do want to support the channel, there's a couple of ways you could do it. Like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. That costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. If you want to support the channel financially, Luigi, do harass, likiri. I trained my dog in High Valyrian. I'm really sorry about that. If you do want to support me financially, you can buy merch behind me. You can buy that down below. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member for $5. And you can become a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much for anybody who's ever donated a penny to the channel. This is grassroots funded media, and I love you very much. Now, let's watch Hakeem Jeffries get thrown around like a little baby back bitch for Israel.
With impunity.
Representative, may I?
Yes.
I'm going to give you some numbers. Just today, it came out that ICE is using $38 billion to convert warehouses into camps. I'm going to call them concentration camps. Your colleague, Representative Raskin, went to...
Bro, we covered this last fucking week. And I also covered this months ago, that the government is beginning to construct concentration camps, and now they're putting incinerators and gas chambers in them. If you don't fucking believe me, you can look up Indiana's own bill on the Indiana government website. They are literally using nitrogen hypoxia. It is a gas chamber, and they have fucking incinerators in these places.
Just yesterday in Maryland, and said there were 60 people cramped like sardines in one room who only had access to one toilet. 65% of people taken by ICE had no convictions. That's from the Cato Institute, a right-wing institute. ICE has killed 8 people this year alone that we know of. 2 of them, Renee Nicole Good and Alex Pretty. The latest polls came out this week, AP polls. Over 60% of Americans now disapprove of ICE. That means in 3 weeks, it's gone from 30% to 60%. Now, if I may, I'm going to be a bit blunt here. Leaders lead. And what we've seen is people are impressionable. If you lead on something, people will follow. It seems the wind is behind your back for the first time ever. ICE has a history. CPP has a history of terrorizing Black and brown communities. People are asking themselves, why are we, our taxpayer dollars, paying for masked, lawless men to terrorize our communities, kidnap people, take children, and kill Americans? So I ask you, and I'm doing a following up to Joy, because I want an answer to this. You said you want to rein in ICE. I'm saying, I'm talking about the long term now. Why not lead and say abolish ICE? Because what you're telling us is you want our taxpayer dollars to pay for a lawless masked armed agency to continue terrorizing our cities. And I'm trying to figure out how you, as a leader, can be telling Americans that their taxpayer dollars should be going to ICE?
I don't understand anything that you just said. When
I spoke English.
I don't understand any.
Smug motherfucker. You disgusting fucking piece of shit traitor. I don't understand anything you just fucking said. He spoke perfect fucking English. Are you deaf, you piece of shit?
Anything that you've just said to me, when I've made clear that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for the American people, not brutalize or kill them. That's the whole reason we're in this fight right now. That's the whole reason the DHS is getting ready to shut down. That's
So
the whole
abolish
reason
ICE.
why
You agree
we
with
are
me,
voting.
Joy? Abolish ICE.
Look at Wajahat trying to give him a layup. Like, so abolish ICE, right? Come on, man. You just avoided the question. Here's a layup. Come on. So abolish ICE, right? Just fucking say it.
That is listen, I'm going to use the language that I want to use. You can use the language that you want to use.
You fucking spineless, gelatinous, supine little baby back bitch. Hakeem, you do not represent the Democrat Party. You do not represent New York. You represent fucking Israel. That's what you represent. You've made over $7.4 million from AIPAC alone. Not to mention the other fucking Israel lobbies. You don't give a shit about the American people. You give a fuck about fattening your pocket and increasing your power level. You fucking scumbag. Resign in disgrace. I wish I could fucking spit on you.
And the language that I'm using right now relates to these type of bold, meaningful, dramatic changes that are designed to save lives right now.
You are begging for the bare fucking minimum. Do you know the shit that is on the Democrats' demands for ICE? It's like, no more masks, and you have to get warrants to go into people's houses. That's already the law. The fact that you are begging for them to follow the law means you've already fucking lost. It is either abolish ICE or suck my fucking dick, Hakeem. Get on your fucking knees and eat my shitty asshole.
In communities that look like the ones that I represent. And that's the goal.
So let me ask you this.
fight.
Yeah. And I
And
hear what you're
holding
saying.
every
That,
single Democrat
Mhm.
together in the House and in the Senate is what we're trying to do to give us the best shot to win this fight right now while we're in the minority.
my question though.
Unfucking believable. And I'm pretty sure there was a second clip that I wanted to show you. Here it is.
Do you, because I want to make sure that we
Well, I
get our
do have
next
one
guest
question
on.
about accountability, and you know, I'll put my cards on the table. I'm against fascists and MAGA and Donald Trump, and I want Democrats to win, but I want the right Democrats to win. And I remember the YouGov poll that came out after the 2024 election said the main reason why Democrats stayed at home was their displeasure with the genocide that's happening in Gaza. And what we've seen is AIPAC. AIPAC now has spent $2 million attacking a moderate-leaning Democrat, Tom Malinowski, a Democrat, in the special House election in New Jersey 11th District, and we got a progressive Latina, Representative Mejia, who won, who, by the way, says abolish ICE. My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
Muted. My apologies. Did not know I was muted. We will edit that out in the video. But here's the thing. That's only half of the question. He's saying, he's like, why are you taking money from AIPAC, right? It should not just be, why are you taking money from AIPAC? It should be no money from any of the Israel lobbies, because AIPAC is one of the fucking Israel lobbies. They have like JPAC. They have these stupid fucking PACs all over the place, these lobbyist organizations that'll be called like some stupid shit like defending freedom, and it's actually sending money to Israel. But you shouldn't be supporting any foreign lobbies. There shouldn't be a single fucking American politician making decisions at the behest of a foreign government, because you know what I call that in my fucking world? Espionage and treason. That's what that fucking is.
Well, listen, everyone's gonna have to make their individual decision. My view as it relates to Democratic incumbents, first of all, is that I will continue to stand by every single one of them.
Because
Whether
you're a baby back bitch. Vote blue no matter who. What about John Fetterman? What about John Fetterman? You said incumbents, you're going to support any and all Democrat. What about John Fetterman, who had a fucking stroke and suddenly became a retarded Republican? What about him? What about him? What about him who said that we should nuke Gaza? What about him? Are you going to support him too, AIPAC Shakur?
That's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on the one hand, or the most conservative, moderate Democrat on the other, who's sitting in the Trump district and at all points in between.
That's not a Democratic Party. That's what these fucking stupid pieces of shit want, is we want a Democrat Party that makes everyone happy, even the fascists. Then you're not a political party. You are just maintaining the status quo, pun intended. I want socialism. I want universal health care. I want universal child care. I want to increase the taxes of the 1%. I want basic welfare for the most marginalized people in our fucking communities. These are basic things that other first world countries have, and you are a slave to your donors. You are a slave to Israel. You are a slave to Big Pharma. You are a slave to those who pay and fatten you. Disgusting bovine piglet.
Right? That's what I'm going to do as House Democratic leader. Now, in terms of how people individually fundraise, I'm proud of the fact that my average contribution amongst the millions of dollars that I've been working hard to raise for my own reelection, that
Working hard? You don't work, let alone work hard. You've made $7.4 million off of AIPAC. You've done diddly fucking shit to earn that.
I use to help elect Democrats in other parts of the country is $27 per contributor. That's my average contribution. That's probably the lowest in the Congress. And so now everyone is going to raise money from their own constituents in different ways, and their own constituents are going to have a variety of different perspectives.
He is taking the longest route I've ever seen to avoid saying, I'm going to keep taking AIPAC money. He is, dude, you are such a fucking pussy.
On a variety of different issues. But make no mistake, there's a big difference between Democrats and Republicans, and we're seeing that right now. I know some people like to project otherwise. How one can see the horrors of what has been inflicted on the American people since January 20th of last year and conclude otherwise, or want to try to suggest that there's no difference in one's quality of life. When I go to Bedford-Stuyvesant or Brownsville,
You're such a piece of shit, dude. Compliance is complacency. If you go to a bar with 4 Nazis and hang out with them, there's 5 Nazis at that fucking bar now. You are a doormat for fascism, Hakeem. You do nothing to stand in their way. No obstruction whatsoever. You let them steamroll over you. You are just as fucking bad as them. Listen, when the Nazi comes to your door and says, hey, let me, hey, you got Jews in the attic, right? And you say, yes, sir. That makes you a fucking Nazi.
East New York or Canarsie or the West End of Coney Island, people know that their life is being made markedly worse because of who's in office right now.
And you're doing nothing to prevent it. When Obama was the president, he had to jump through 50 fucking hoops to get one piece of legislation passed because the Republicans aligned together and said, we are going to obstruct this motherfucker every step of the way. You've done nothing.
Both in the White House, in the House.
Well,
of
Representative, respectfully,
and we're determined to do something about
just
that.
a quick follow-up. So that means, will you stop taking money from AIPAC?
I'm going to continue to raise money in the same way that I've been raising it, where the average contribution
50 fucking lashes.
from millions of people across the
Look at how disappointed he is,
country
dude.
is
It's like, yeah, I knew this motherfucker was going to do this. I knew he was going to fucking do this.
$27 per contributor.
We are out of time. I had more questions, but we have to get our next guest on. Thank you so much, Representative Hakeem Jeffries. Please come back because
Brother, I couldn't do this because I would burn that bridge immediately before he left and go, by the way, go fuck yourself.
I have some more questions about gerrymandering and about the No.
Bro, the thing that I do love about mainstream media, I know this isn't mainstream media, but like Hakeem Jeffries is a slave to mainstream media, is that like there is a world where I end up being able to have an interview with him because they don't do any research. They don't know who I am. They'll just be like, oh, this guy's a Democrat. Yeah, no, he'll do an interview with you. And I'll literally just be like, so Hakeem, why are you such a beta cuck for Israel? There is a world where that shit happens because they do not do fucking research.
November election protection, but I have kept our next guest waiting too long. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your time.
And part of the reason why I know they don't do research is because he came into this completely empty-handed. He had no fucking idea what was coming for him. So now what I want to show you is this. Here is Track AIPAC, keeping track of Hakeem Jeffries and his AIPAC money. He has made over oh, sorry, I fucked this up. I said 7.4 million. I meant to say 1.7 million. Same fucking difference. I also bet if you counted up all of the money that he's received from other Israeli PACs, it probably does add up closer between 7 and 10 million. But just from AIPAC alone, this cocksucker has made over 1.74 million fucking dollars, bro. And they've got the list of all the New York representatives. Look at Chuck fucking Schumer over here. 6.4 million fucking dollars, bro. Now, here's a video of Chuck Schumer from earlier this month flexing, saying that nobody has ever done more for Israel than him as the leader of the Democrat Party. Get a look at this fucking shit.
Fight for aid to Israel, all the aid that is. Fight for aid to Israel, all the aid that Israel needs. I will continue to fight for it. And we delivered more security assistance to Israel, our ally, under my leadership than ever before.
If these two motherfuckers are in charge of the Democrat Party during the 2028 election, I'm voting third party. I refuse to vote for anybody who supports the apartheid Zionist nation of Israel. Can't do it, won't fucking do it. And I will push as many fucking people as I can to not vote for Gavin fucking Newsom because he's coming up next.
We will keep doing that, everybody. It is so important to give Israel what it needs and to protect itself from the many in that difficult region.
Can somebody ask this motherfucker if he's America first or Israel first? Because I genuinely think he'll have a hard time answering that.
Wipe Israel off the face of the map. We have to do everything to do that. We have to do everything to ensure that the delicate ceasefire secured last year paves the way to lasting peace.
Ceasefire secured last year? What fucking ceasefire? They're using thermobaric bombs and literally evaporating civilians. That's not a joke. I already covered this, but you should look up thermobaric bombs in Gaza. They burn at 7,000 degrees Fahrenheit and actually boil you from the inside and evaporate you. It is the one step before using nuclear fucking weapons.
Where people can live side by side, as many have mentioned, in a two-state solution. The fight for aid.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Now check it out. The last one I want to show you is Gavin fucking Newsom. You've probably seen this clip, but if you haven't, he's asked about AIPAC, and watch the way. Just look at his his physical reaction to being asked about AIPAC. Look at the way he starts to condense himself and make himself tinier and shrug his shoulder. Go, interesting. I mean, it's just interesting. It is fucking hilarious, and this is why I will not pledge fealty to this fucking cocksucker.
Interesting. You're like the first to bring up AIPAC in years, which is interesting.
Too interesting.
I will not vote for a candidate that takes $1 from AIPAC.
It's interesting. I mean,
Great.
it's interesting. I haven't thought about
4.
AIPAC, and it's interesting. You're like the first to bring up AIPAC in years, which is interesting.
7.
Why did I say that? Not relevant to my day-to-day life.
Okay.
Which is just interesting.
Listen.
It's interesting you say that. JPAC perhaps more, but AIPAC less and less.
Okay. Fair enough.
Which is just interesting.
What's interesting about it?
That it's just interesting as you bring up AIPAC that it hasn't been part of. I'm just reflecting quite openly and honestly. Hasn't been part of the day to day.
Yeah. The only reason why I ask
11 times he said interesting
is because with that, what I'm talking about is lobbying in and of itself.
I hate that fucking end of a TikTok noise. It's so goddamn stupid loud. But yeah, no, that motherfucker gets AIPAC money and he will refuse to stop taking it. He doesn't give a shit as long as he's getting fucking rich. All right, so that's all I got for you, man. The enemy within is here. It's the Zionists. It's AIPAC. It's Israeli money buying our politicians. Listen, if you're here live, you stay. We got to keep on going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, Luigi, shush. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, helps me immensely. Do me one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. All right, that's a good one. Luigi, what's the matter? Is it Beans? Is Beans blocking you? Oh, it is. It's your brother. Your brother's blocking you. Want a little belly rub? You can have a little belly. Why? Why the grumbles? Why the grumbles? Why are you grumbling and grumbling? Why the grumbles? Why the grumbles? All right. You got a thumbnail for me? Got a thumbnail for me? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. No, too loud. Way, way too loud, bro. Way too loud. Get rid of Benjamin Netanyahu. Get rid of Gavin Newsom. Get rid of Chuck Schumer. Make the background just the Israeli flag. Way too loud, bro. Way too loud. Get rid of half that shit. All right, title. Multiple titles here. How about Hakeem? How do you spell Hakeem Jeffries? Hold on. Okay, Hakeem. Thank you for the $5. Did I see Iron Lung? No, I did not. Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries refuses to stop taking AIPAC money. The Democrat Party is enslaved by Israel. Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, and Gavin Newsom. Israel's favorite Democrats. Those are good. Those are good. All right, let me see this second version of the Thumbum Shatner. Yup. Way better. You see, you guys have heard the old phrase. Is it beholden or beholdent? Oh, it is beholden. Okay. Here's the thing. When it comes to thumbnails, guys, less is more. Less is more. Always. You got to get straight to the fucking point. Episode 386. Give this a little tweak. The enemy within is real. The enemy within is real. There we go. Oh, I have to edit out the muted mic. Fuck! Fuck! I should have read that earlier. All right, now we gotta wait. Now we gotta wait till that's done editing, and then we can do that again. That's okay. That happens. It's a short edit. It's deleting less than a sec. 14 minutes? Ugh. Oh shit, I also made it public. God damn it. I'm so fucking stupid, dude. I'm so fucking stupid. No, not public. Members only. Fuck. Schedule. From members only today at 7 p.m. Local. Members only to public. Done. Save. Publish. Change the visibility. Continue. All right, when that's done, we'll edit out the muted part. Yeah, there's probably somebody out there watching this shit. They're gonna get fucking yoinked. Chat wants you to see this. What is this?
We're not just kidding. We're raping also, okay?
Oh, you're raping also?
Yeah, I'm right now in this video chat in Gaza.
You're in Gaza?
You want to see Gaza?
Yeah, show me.
Don't be surprised. There's no house here. No
Let me
house.
see.
Flat, all flat.
You guys flattened it?
Oh, yeah.
You guys killed a bunch of kids and shit, bro.
No. Stop listening to this fucking news. No.
Okay, tell me, where's the women and children that were living there?
Okay, I want to see you. I want to show you a picture, okay?
Okay.
Don't go. You asking about children? I will talk. I took this picture from one of the houses that I would live here, okay?
Okay.
These are the children here.
Those are the
Based.
children there?
Based.
Yeah, and if you
Well-
not believe me, so there is number.
Also, like, dude, I could get you a picture of a 5-year-old American holding a bigger rifle than that.
In Arabic.
If
of the
there's
day.
kids, hold up. If there's kids who got guns because they know you're coming, bro, I don't blame them, dude. Look what you just did to Gaza, bro.
Bro, you just need to shut up after you see this because you understand you fucking dumb ass.
Bro, you just killed a bunch of women and children, bro.
Yeah. We can't.
Hey, you're a piece of shit, dog.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry, and we rape them also. We're not just kidding. We're raping also, okay?
Oh, you're raping also.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm
be
letting
nice,
you
very
know.
good.
Hey, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm streaming, bro. You are gonna be fucking hated by every American, dog.
Bro,
No, he's not. No, he's not. Brother, I'm on your side, but no, he's not. About 77 million Americans will cheer for his rape and murder of the Gazan people because they are evangelical Christians and they vehemently support Israel. You are completely fucking wrong about that, dude.
bro, I don't give a fuck. I just show you a picture, okay? I'm just talking shit and you know
you
it.
bullshit,
You can,
bro.
Bro. You can say bullshit.
I wish I still had this sense of horror. You know what I mean? But I have been very... it has become so normalized that the things that he is saying, these are not surprising whatsoever. You know what I mean? I don't know who this guy is, but he can't believe what he's hearing. Brother, that is exactly what I expect to come from one of these fucking inferior Zionist dogs to say.
I just showed
You
a
just
picture
said some
randomly.
crazy ass shit right now, bro. Hey, I'm
Fucking
telling you right
idiot.
now,
Just ask
America's
me.
gonna stop backing you guys, and when we stop backing you guys and you get fucked up, that's your fucking problem, bro.
You know what is your problem? That your fucking president is Trump. You fucking idiot. They hate fucking idiots like you.
He's correct. This guy's correct. He's right. Brother, we have Donald Trump as the president. Like, to your point, bro, no, America will never stop supporting Israel. Not as long as we have Republicans in charge. And Democrats like Chuck Schumer. You watch what I just fucking watched? It's Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, Gavin Newsom. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle they're on. They like brother, you need to flip the fucking board.
Hey, fuck everybody in the American government. How about that, bro? And fuck you too for what you did, dog.
We're not just...
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Disgusting. Disgusting. Still waiting for this to finish so we can get rid of that muted portion, but yeah, no, I mean, I listen, I expect that sort of behavior from Zionists. I expect nothing less. America is the laughingstock because of Orange Little Man. Yeah, well, I mean, Donald Trump is the president we deserve. You know, the president is a mirror to our society, and he is exactly what we have become. He's not the president we need, but he is certainly the president we deserve. Yeah, and plus, we've also been a laughingstock for quite a while, man. Got to run in a minute, have a video call. My doc, don't worry, I ain't going to be live for too much longer. All right, now I can edit out that silent portion, and then we're probably done with the live. So, does anybody remember, like, where it was?
Like a Luxia. By ICE had for 60 lead on our tax for this. Going to ICE.
I don't understand anything.
I don't understand
the that I run the Senate.
I do have YouGov AIPAC district.
Yeah, there it is.
AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats.
I was muted. We will edit that out in the video. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's only half of the question. That's only half the question. He's saying, he's like, why are you taking...
My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
Muted. Muted. My apologies. Did not know I was muted. We will edit that out in the video. All right. 25... 40. Preview. The enemy within is...
Says abolish ICE. My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's only half of the question. That's only half the question. He's saying, he's like, why are you taking money from AIPAC, right? There we go. Good. Good to go. Good shit, gang. Very good live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I am going to go to the gym. Nelson, you here, bud? You here? Yes, sir. Laser tag at 8 if you're down. Laser tag at 8. I'm going to be bringing Triv and Endemic. I think Triv is bringing somebody else as well. Alrighty. What's your goal weight? Probably like 215. I think anything under 215, I'll start to look a bit emaciated. But I'm down 20 pounds now, gang. I'm down 20 pounds in 4 weeks. And I'm getting used to it. Like, I swear to God, there's a thing you can do with your body where it's like you're I don't know how many calories you guys eat, but your body is used to that many calories. And if you take enough discipline and cut it down, after a couple of weeks, your body will then get used to that many calories. So like in the first couple of weeks, I was really hungry a lot of the time because my body was used to like 2,500 calories a day. And I cut 1,000. I put it down to 1,500 calories a day. So at first it was brutal, but now like I'm very used to it. And when I approach like that 1,500 calorie mark by the end of the day, I'm very full. You know, I've only had 230 calories today. Beat me. I've had 0, zilch, nada, none, or however many calories are in black coffee. I guess like probably like 150 calories because I had 3 cups of black coffee, probably like that. Have you considered vlogging your journey? I don't vlog it, but I take lewd photos in the mirror. Very lewd photos. And once my body looks like a Greek statue, yeah, those are all going up. Those are all going up. Those are all going up. Bro, my hidden folder is unbelievable. Somebody finds my hidden folder, I'm cooked. I'm fucking cooked. You have no idea, bro. You have no idea. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, actually, it would be the end of me. The article written, like, socialist streamer has videos leaked of him on his knees begging mommy. like, you have no idea. You have no idea. All right. Okay. No, like, dude, you'll get a video of me with a fucking dog leash on being walked around a gas station. Okay. This man wants to be president. Dude, the current president is a child rapist. I think that it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. All right. I'm out of here. Later, guys. Have a good one. GG. GG. Later. I ain't being sarcastic, Cade. All right. Bye, guys. Later.